Have you ever experienced being around a problematic person? I have too, and now, let's get realistic. Problems are a bust. And we've got to live within our own problems, we know that. But now some people are so weak. Some people don't even understand where these problems have come from. Some people feel as though they shouldn't even have them, or that they're the creator, that they just start spilling all this problematic attitudes into the environment, like an oil refinery. No, I'm very, very serious. Now, the whole atmosphere is electromagnetically charged. Everything is a law of vibration. Everything can be reduced to a law of vibration. This was Pythagoras' great gift to mankind. Everything is a vibration. The master, the soul, hate, the mind, a body, thoughts, feelings, paper, water, glass, everything is a vibration. Problems are a vibration too. Being dissatisfied, frustration, loneliness, these problems I've been talking about, they're a vibration too. Now, loved ones, I want you to be cool about this. If you've got some problems in your own microcosm, okay, fine. We all do. And we're going to have to work through them, and this will be the grit that polishes our stone. Very easy to understand. It's no problem at all. So what? Is it a problem? Someone's lifting weights to build their muscles up, and they're saying, these weights are a real problem. Here they're using the weights to build up their muscles. How can it be a problem? You see, it's just the wrong point of view. No, those weights are actually helping you, John or Linda or Pete. Okay, you see. Now, if you've got some problems in your own world, and that's kind of chewing up your emotional nature, I don't want you polluting the atmospheric conditions. It's bad enough whenever you have a negative thought, your whole aura changes color. Anyone that can see auras just reads the color of your aura, and you can just see right where they're at. It's just instantaneously, like hate, a dark, dark black red, just like liquid being spilled on the floor, just spreads right through your aura. And it colors your entire aura. Your aura is an electromagnetic field. And the saints and masters, this is what they read on a person. And they can tell if they're evolving or if they're down and out or they're going down. But this electromagnetic field is very, very sensitive, and just any feeling, any thought, any condition imprints itself upon there because vibrations are ubiquitous. They're everywhere. It can be a solid vibration, an ethereal vibration, an emotional, a mental, a spiritual. Everything's a vibration. So just having a bad feeling yourself or entering these problematic issues that all chelas are going to deal with, loneliness, frustration, confusion, unworthiness, is a vibration. And when you get into that state of consciousness yourself, when you entertain that vibration, it solidifies into a state of consciousness. It materializes. Now you have to live in that. That's what you created. That's how we create things in our life. We take vibrations, and through the application of our attention and our thought and our understanding, we mold this vibration into something. Just like you would take clay, and I'm going to make a castle, a ball, a truck, whatever. You mold it how you want to, and you're going to mold, it's not the clay doing it, it's your own thought doing it. You have an image of what you want to make, and then this just goes through the actions. It's the same way with the law of vibrations. And we're always spewing forth vibrations. Everyone has a frequency. And it's based upon what you are, what you've been in the past, what you want to be in the future, and what you are right now, by virtue of your very state of consciousness. So now that's bad enough, loved ones, to be basically so limited that you don't understand you're the creator. You don't have to live in anyone else's scene but your own. Now that's the killer. All these problematic scene, no, I'm talking about problems, that you have to live in, you've created. So you're King Kong on this. Now, that usually escapes one. That you say, my parents did it to me. Or it's my boss. Or if I could only live in Africa, I wouldn't have the problem of America. Or if I this or that. And that's saying, like, I didn't do this. Someone else did it to me, and it's not fair. No. You did it to yourself. Okay, now here's my point. That's bad enough. And I understand it, but you don't want to live in these vibrations. You've got to know that you don't have to live here. You don't have to live in this state. You've got to know that you can change these vibrations instantaneously just by readjusting your attention and attitude. Completely changes the vibrations instantly. Now your whole aura goes a different color, and it attracts a whole new force field, whether it be chakra, plane, light, sound, master, whatever. Now that comes roaring in, and your state of consciousness develops around that vibration. You got to understand that if you don't like what you're living in, you can change it right now. That is the bottom line. That's the long and short of it. I'm taking the long way today. You don't have to live there. Do you understand that? That's pivotal, because if you stay there, you think you do. That's key right there. Okay. Now, what I got off on this for was, that's bad enough having your own problem and not being able to see you're the creator and rectifying it right on the spot. That's why there is no such thing as a problem. It's only a point of view. Every problem solution is just one creative impulse away. Half a second? That's if you have the divine knowledge and you're willing to use it. Now, all of you have been blown away by something and changed it instantaneously and experienced a total different reality. Fair to say? Maybe it's only happened once in your life, maybe 5 or 10 times. That's what I'm talking about. You can do that anytime. Never stay in something you don't like. Now, if you are a weakling and a nobody and a victim of effect, and you don't understand this law of vibration that you're the creator, then okay, you're going to have to live in whatever you've created. And you're going to have to wait for that time until you do understand what got you in this mess. Now, it was yourself, but you're going to need to understand that before you can rectify it. And that's why I'm talking about problems. But let's leave it right there. As soon as you become dismayed, and if you don't understand this thing, the whole world now is going to become a dump. And you're going to think you can actually go out there and spew out your ill-thought vibrations on the world with attitudes. Worse yet, you get in your house and on your mate, you start dumping off these attitudes. And here they are, just your own inability to resolve or take a spiritual point of view in here, and being you just can't handle your own problem, you want to give it to someone else and mess up their aura. That's what I mean by like an oil refinery spewing off black, ugly smoke, a black, ugly vibration, and filling things up. Now, if you want to do it to yourself, that's your right. I wish you wouldn't. I would like to help you with this, but we don't want to be doing it to other people. Don't bring your problems to other people. Don't burden them with your problems. And that's why, loved ones, in problem solving, these 4 mechanical manifestations come up. Now let's just talk about this for a while. What's the first one? Exaggeration. Does that mean I'm talking about, here the fish is this big, and I'm saying it's this big? No, that's not the exaggeration we're talking about. We're talking about exaggerating the vibrations. You see, we're talking about taking a small issue in your mind that can be solved just like that and making it bigger than your own soul and your own ability to solve it. You've exaggerated the problem. Do you realize he swore at me? Exaggerate. So what? You curse yourself every day when you forget the master. What's the big deal about someone swearing at your physical body? But someone can be so offended that they exaggerate this. The next thing, they become hostile because someone else isn't agreeing with them. That's exaggeration. You're never going to solve a problem if you exaggerate. How about excessive talking? You people that love to excessively talk about your problems. Do you realize the very energy that's going to solve this problem, you've just let it go down the drain? You've leaked it out. The very energy you're going to use to recreate your vibrational force field and penetrate this and contemplate on the Master, you've just blown that right away, and you're going to talk about this as though by talking about it, you're going to solve it. That's excessive talking. You cannot solve a problem when you excessively talk. How about the third mechanical manifestation of expression of negative emotions? Do you really think you can solve a problem when you're whining over spilt milk and just letting your negative emotionalism spew forth? You're not solving nothing. You're just making it worse. Okay. And then lying is the last one. Do you really think you can solve a problem if you're lying? Now, I'm not talking about a lie like, no, I didn't take that money. Not that. I'm talking about living the lie. Living your mental creation. Allowing yourself to be duped and unenlightened. That's a lie. You're living the lie. It's like the commandment, thou shalt not kill. They're not talking about animals and humans. They're talking about your soul. Thou shalt not kill. Everyone's murdered themselves. Okay, so I just wanted to bring that up. And so these problems, work with these problems yourself, loved ones, and keep them in my realm. And try not to hurt someone else and be like an oil refinery. You know, it just gets to be a polluted atmosphere. And that's not fun. Okay, problems remain if one's not willing to have his will. That's the bottom line. Problems can only exist if you want your way. I want it my way. My ego's way, my desire's way. That won't work, okay? Lower self is so contentious and contemptuous that rather than solving problems, it creates them. And only surrender to the Shabda Master can these problems vanish forever. Now, loved ones, if you want a key to solving your problems, I will give you one. Please understand, loved ones, there's no such thing as a problem. There are only spiritual experiences. This is the keynote to the lecture. These are all spiritual experiences, and it's your own mind, you see, and being concerned about the lower self that has called this spiritual experience a problem. The soul calls the same experience a revelation from God. Does that make sense? Don't buy problems. They're only points of view, and you can alter this at any time. All that's important is that your attention be on the Master and not your problem. When your attention's on the Master, then you can have attitudes of love and forgiveness, contentment. When it's on your problem, then you're locked into the body, and the Kel has tricked you. And you'd never know your trick, because you'd say, I'm just trying to get rid of my problem, Gary. What's so bad about that? Well, from a Manumuk point of view, nothing. But from a Gurumuk point of view, everything. Because your attention is on the problem, and all problems come from Kel Narinjan and a misperception of truth.